Hello everybody and welcome to my playthrough of Dark Souls 3. I've been excitedly waiting for this game for a long time now, good few months. Ever since Bloodborne finished, I've been craving something Souls-like. So finally I've got the ultimate Souls. Souls 3. This is us. I picked a knight character as the start in this particular run. I did a test run as a mercenary earlier. It went very, very poorly for me. In fact, I was quite unhappy with the class, I feel. Starting off with a rubbish shield that early on really put me off. Some of the bosses are way harder early on because you're taking that damage through your shield. So this time I decided to go knight, start with a 100% physical block and decent armor. Surprisingly as well, the knight still has a fairly good dodge roll. It's not super fast, but it's not bad either. So we are in the cemetery of Ash. We have obviously risen up out of said ash. Be interesting to see where we are going and what is going on. Oh, and apparently we're going to get turned back into ash by this guy. Less of that, thank you. Now, so just explore the area a little bit before we move on. So I haven't got particularly far in this game so far. Did about 4 hours play in my test run, which got me to about the third boss. So I'm going to seem really competent for the first 3 fights, boss fights, and then it's going to be failure all the way. So I'll be going mostly blind through this playthrough. So I hope you're on board for mostly success followed by terrible, terrible failure. I'll just fight this guy now. This is the giant crystal lizard. We will be bumping into his little brothers later. Crystal lizards are quite important enemies, and they supply us with Titanite shards, or just upgrades for our weapons and stuff. So they're very useful to hunt down and defeat. This guy's particularly tough though. Just need to be careful and like strafe around him, get a couple of hits off, and he should be dealt with pretty easily. Especially since we're wearing tanky armor like this. Wouldn't be too difficult at all. Chug of an Estus here. Whoa, okay. This particular fight, or particular enemy, I guess, reminds me a bit of Setha Scalus and his many abominations, so be interesting to see if that's what they're going for with this guy. Ooh. Come on. That's it. Titanite scale. Success. Okay then. It's good to know this game's like Bloodborne in the sense that you accidentally press the wrong button combination and end up cheering at the most inopportune moments. Okay, so that's this area clear. Where is the exit? I've forgotten already. Aha! Let's go through here. Ah! I love those physics. I know some people dislike the body physics in Souls, but you've got to take any entertainment you can get in this game. Like, anything that can make you smile. And just look at this. I love it. There we go. Move on to this. gorgeous view. Take it in for a second. Look at this. Massive great big castle there. These snowy hills. Or it could be ash. That could be what that's meant to be. That would be cool. And here is our first bonfire. Very iconic, the bonfires in Souls. There we go. Rest. Cool. Alright, let's head down here then. Fight a few more of these undead. Not particularly hard at the moment, but the game is just slowly easing you into it. This is the equivalent of the tutorial, really. Which is, you know, pretty good tutorial. Let's go deal with this guy now. And his friend, just here. That's it. I just step into this area here, and I mean this area just screams boss battle, doesn't it? And of course, that would be our boss. Remove sword. You just know what's going to happen, don't you? You can even see the darkness sort of seeping out of his back. Some idea of what could happen later on from that. And this area here looks very much like the original Firelink Shrine to me. Got the water and the sort of ruins in the background and this sort of circular shape to it. And if that's the case, this big coffin reminds me a bit of Gravelord Nito's sort of spot. Looks like where you'd dig him up from. And you've even got the tree where the crow used to nest. It's quite cool. If that's what they were going for, it's pretty epic. Anyway, let's pull out this sword. Come on then. Whoa. Touche, good sir, touche. This is Udex Glunder. He is our first boss. Not too tricky a fight if you're playing as a knight. However, if you don't have a good shield, this could be a difficult one for you, especially on your first run. Oh. Just chug a quick Estus. There we go. But his movements are quite slow, and you've got plenty of time to just hang back and judge what he's going to do. Get a couple of quick hits in. And then this happens. Yeah. I rather freaked my shit the first time I saw that. As we saw earlier, he had this sort of dark, gooey stuff coming out of his back, and this is what it becomes. I'm uncertain yet as to what it's meant to be. If I had to hazard a guess, I would say it's meant to be the abyss sort of manifesting itself into a host. There we go, but easy enough. And there is Udex defeated. And we have a coiled sword as our reward. And we have an ember restored as well. Embers operate in a similar way to humanity in Souls 1, or becoming human. Whilst you've got an ember, your hit points are higher, and I think you seem to do a bit more damage. I'm not sure if that's actually the case. You can also summon phantoms, and I believe you can also invade other worlds whilst you have the ember on you. Oh, damn it. So it's quite useful. Grab that, Homeward Bone, very useful item. it warps you to the last bonfire you rested at, which is quite handy. The dark sign does a similar thing, but the dark sign costs you all of your souls to do so. Not really worth it. The only cost to the homeward bone is once you've used the homeward bone, it's gone. There we go. Are there any other items hidden down here, actually? No. Not that I can see. Cool. What's this? Oh well. There we go. And now we enter Firelink Shrine. It's been redecorated since we were last here. It's got these fancy thrones dotted around it. And this lady here, well, she's the equivalent of the Emerald Herald from Dark Souls 2. Just talk to her.
Welcome to the bonfire, unkindled one. I'm a firekeeper. I tend to the flame and tend to thee. The lords have left their thrones and must be delivered to them. To this end, I am at thy side.
There we go. So, we are unkindled, which basically means that, well, I'm guessing it means that we got resurrected when the bell rang, similar to the Lords of Cinder. And also, the Lords of Cinder have, well, not shown up. And apparently, according to this lady, it's our mission to deliver them to their thrones, so that they may relight the first flame. Nevertheless, this lady's probably the most important character in the game, because this is how you level up.
Then touch the darkness within me. Take nourishment from these sovereignless souls.
There we go. Touch the darkness inside of me seems to be a sort of reference to demon souls in such a way. Touch the demon inside of me was the line that the Maiden in Black used to use. It seems close enough to that.
May the flames guide thee.
Thank you very much. Right, I think that's a good place to leave it there. So next time we shall be talking to some NPCs, and we shall visit our first new area. Maybe fight a boss in the meantime.